You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
So let's find a comfortable seat for yourself, whether that's butterfly or cross-legged. But this one is yin for the earth element. Yes, we are in our month of elements, and this is yin for the earth element. So very much feet, ankles, legs, grounding us to the earth. And we'll take our Prithvi Mudra. So our Prithvi Mudra is our thumb touching lightly to the ring finger. The other three fingers are nicely outstretched. And I'm going to ask you to face that downwards. So fingertips point down towards the earth, which if you notice, look, what happens when my shoulders open and the wrists are open, and then you turn it inwards and you gently rest those down onto the knees. So you've got your thumb resting down on your knee, the other fingers are pointing towards the earth. Sit nice and tall, close the eyes if you choose to, or take a soft gaze. And just start to steady yourself into your practice, coming to the mat, coming to your time of the day, letting go of everything that has taken place, all of the people that you've met, spoken to, and interacted with through your day, things that you've done, tasks, chores, work, hobbies, sports, let them all go now. Allow the breath to travel from the earth to the crown on your breath in, and on your breath out, let that breath travel back down from the head to the root, all the way back down towards the earth. So traveling that breath all the way from the root up the spine, up the back of the neck, into the skull and beyond. And then releasing, letting go fully as you breathe out. And that breath is easy, comfortable. Nothing is forced about your breathing rhythm. Allow the breath to anchor you into the space, into the present moment. And as you sit comfortably with your spine straight but not stiff, just take those calming, deep breaths, breathing in and breathing out. And feel the weight of your body making contact with the surface, the earth beneath you. Let the hands in the mudra be soft, relaxed, yet connected. And if you notice any sounds, bring your mind back and gently settle back into your meditative state. Imagine you are in a rainforest, swinging in a hammock, gently drifting off, feeling completely relaxed and at ease. All around you, the sounds of life are ever present, and you allow these sounds to fade away into the distance, letting your attention drift toward nothing in particular. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be, other than in this moment, right here, right now. You are awakened in the hammock by the rhythm of the falling rain, and you surrender to the moment, letting the rain wash away any stress, any tension you have felt. You let every drop of rain cleanse your tension away. As the tension washes away, you feel open, relaxed, and expansive. It is as though you can feel the spirits in the trees, rocks, and the plants. And you begin to hear the spirits calling you, inviting you on a journey. And you leave your hammock, and before you, a path starts to form. The path leads you deeper into the rainforest. And with every step you take, you feel your senses sharpening. You can see clearly, hear clearly, feel clearly. You pause, absorbing the beauty of nature all around you. Every shade of green dazzles and dances around you. It is a healthy, happy place to be, surrounded by nature and the trees, and you feel uplifted. Ahead of you, the trees start to thin and you notice a clearing, a place where the light is even brighter, a place that radiates peace and calm. At the center of the clearing is a very large tree. You walk towards the tree, its energy drawing you in like a hypnotic force. This tree is sacred, ancient, and wise, with deep roots spreading far beneath the earth, connecting to all life in the underworld. A majestic trunk that curves in the middle supports branches as they reach out and connect to all life beyond them in the middle world. At the very top of the tree, its crown reaches upwards, connecting to all life in the heavenly realms. You step toward the tree and place your hands on its trunk. You feel an instant connection as the energy from the tree awakens within you. You breathe and let a question form in your mind. When you are ready, you ask the sacred, ancient, and wise tree your question. Breathing steadily, waiting for the response. And in time, you hear the answer and place your cheek on the tree trunk in gratitude before turning and sitting at the base of the tree. Here, you stay quietly, absorbing the answer to the question. As you sit at the base of the tree, you feel the interconnectedness of life. You feel that you are a part of it. The energy comes up from the earth, is channeled through you, up through the trunk and out to the tips of the branches, returning to earth and then back up through you and the trunk into the heavens. A continuous cycle of energy that sources all life. On the next breath, become aware of your body making contact with the surface beneath you once more. Bring your shoulders up to your ears, and then gently exhale as you release them. And as you do this, release the mudra, flipping the palms up towards the sky, softening into the fingers, the palms, and the wrists, letting the elbows relax, letting the shoulders feel heavy. Let's take a moment to bring yourself back into your space from your meditation. Wiggle the fingers, gently move into the wrists, and then you can lift the knees and bring them together. And just give yourself a nice big hug. Letting the head relax down towards the knees and just rounding out through the spine. Soften through the head, the neck, and the shoulders here. And remind yourself of that interconnectedness of life, a continuous cycle of energy that sources all life from the earth. The earth provides us so much. Rolling up, let's come to our first posture of child's pose. With child's pose, many options. You can, of course, use your bolster or without. I'm going to go without. But you can line your bolster up lengthways along the mat. You can keep the feet together, knees a little bit wider, or you might like to bring them a bit narrower. The hands might come underneath the head. The hands might reach forward. I'm going to be here for about 3 minutes. So just find a comfortable child's pose that really works for you as your first posture. So as you start to settle into the pose, reminding yourself of that breath, letting go of tension and tightness that you might be holding. And that felt sense, your experience as you just bow the head to the earth. Just finding stillness here in the mind might be challenging. So come back to that breath from root to crown on your inhale, crown to root on your exhale. Brings you back into the moment. And if we only think of our breath, there's no room for anything else. Feeling the surrender to gravity of the body in child's pose, releasing you closer to the earth. In our last few breaths in this posture, give in just a little bit more as you breathe out, relaxing even further. Letting joints soften, muscles disengage. And as we start to think about moving, how do we do that for ourselves that makes it nice and comfortable We might start to bring the hands back towards the knees, back towards the body, to press into the palms, to gently and slowly press ourselves away from the mat and come into a tabletop position. Just to release the compression from the knees, from the ankles, from the forehead. And here, do what feels good in this rebound as we come out of that child's pose. It might just be some simple circles of the hips, one way and the other, or some cat and cows releasing through the spine. Allow your body to guide you after coming out of each posture, doing what needs to be done. We're going to move back gently into our toe stretch. So again, going easy with this one, tucking the toes underneath, starting to bring the weight back towards the heels. And you can stay here if you need to. If this brings quite intense feelings and sensations into the toes, if the toes are tucked underneath you, this might be enough. Depends how often you do toe stretches to be able to hold them for 2 minutes. If you need to come out of this one, please do nice and slowly, just honoring your toes. Curl the corners of your mouth up with a little smile, relaxing into the facial expression. You're feeling no pain. We might just feel challenge and working towards an edge. Grounding those toes to the earth. Nice and slowly coming out of the posture, sliding the hands forward back into tabletop once more. Slowly uncurl those toes. Feel the release. Breathe out as you just soften the toes back into the floor. If you like, you can lift up an ankle, give it a little circle. Circle around one way and the other. Release the toes. Give it a little shake. And then do the same with the other one. You can leave the knee on or off the floor. Just rotate into the ankles and the toes. Give them a little shake. Let's start to come back into our dangle pose. So here you can use your bolster. We're going to bring the feet underneath us. Spread the feet hip width. And just spread the toes. Lift the heels up, making sure that you're nice and grounded. So this is connecting our feet to the floor. If you use that bolster, that then goes underneath the head, or you might just come into dangle by allowing the body to fold forwards in your forward fold. So whatever works for you. Bend the knees, let the belly and the chest come down over the thighs. And just notice, are you gripping anywhere here? Are you gripping the toes? Are you clawing back the mat? Is the weight equal in the feet? Are you more weight in the heels, more weight in the toes? Be aware of your weight distribution through the feet. So again, this slow and steady breath from root to crown is reversed here. We are in a reverse breath, as it were. So we're still inhaling to our crown, but we're in an inversion. So be aware of that breath as you exhale, let go just a little bit more. Maybe the hands come to the floor so that the hands and the feet are connected. Again, there's interconnectedness to the ground, to the earth beneath us, holding us, supporting us. Almost there, about 30 seconds left in this standing forward fold. And just gently lift the gaze. And we're going to move into our squat. So you can sit on a block or a bolster if you need to, widening the heels out to the wider edges of the mat. Start to widen the knees over the middle toe. And maybe you just move left and right before you go into that squat position, which we are holding for about 2 minutes. So again, if you're sitting on that block, make sure that you're not going to fall off of it. So here we can pull in the pelvic floor, which is our muladhara, or we can relax it. Just notice what the different feelings are, either drawing it in, holding the muladhara, keeping that apana, that downward force of energy within the body, or releasing. And feel as if the pelvic floor is being pulled towards the earth. Keeping a nice long spine, chest is open, shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. About 30 seconds left here. If you need to come out, please do, but if you can stay for the remainder of the 30 seconds, taking that nice deep exhale. There is challenge here. There is definitely an edge, but there is definitely no pain. Release the hands, lift the hips, and as the hips come up, the toes turn in and you heel toe back into parallel. Really nice slow heel toes. And then just gently bend the knees and bring yourself to seated. Stretching the legs out in front of you. So just take a moment to feel the release and the response here as you just flex and point through the toes, through the ankles, drawing toes back towards the shins, pointing the feet down towards the front of your mat. Really getting into the ankle joints and the toe joints, not missing any sections out. Now start to rotate the ankles. Draw a big circle in the air with those big toes. Again, not missing any sections out. Hands circling back the other way. Noticing clicks, crunches. Nice. Then we're going to move into our seated forward fold of caterpillar here. So you can, of course, use your bolster. I'm going to use that bolster now underneath my knees. If you like, you don't have to, of course. You can have the bolster supporting the head or out in front of you. So sitting tall, a nice long spine, relax the legs, relax the knees, and then start to fold the body over the thighs, sliding the hands down, the shins towards the feet, and just wiggle the flesh away from the sit bones underneath you, and breathe out just a little bit more. So we're here for a little bit longer in this posture than the other poses. So making sure that you don't go too deep too soon. Allow gravity to take you deeper into the pose. Allow the exhale breath to release you even further. Just trying to let go of tension and tightness. And really giving in to this posture. Let go. Fully relaxing the face, the head, the neck, the upper back, the shoulders, the middle back, the waists, the lower back. Relax into the buttocks. Soften through the underside of the legs, the hamstrings, the back of the knees and the calves. Again, using the breath to anchor you into the space. Receiving those messages of the felt sense and your experience as you hold stillness in the posture to find your edge. We're almost there. We're coming to the last minute. Think about those breaths from root to crown, exhaling fully from crown to earth, letting go even more. Reminding yourself of those raindrops just washing away tension and tightness. And as we begin to think about moving and how we're going to do that, how we're going to get out of the posture, take a nice deep breath in, bring the hands back towards the shins, and you can use those to press into the floor. And you gently and slowly uncurl. There is no rush. Take your time. Slow it down even more. Unrolling through each and every vertebra of the spine that brings you back up to a straight seated posture. Shoulders come back over the hips. Sit nice and tall. Drop the sit bones in towards the earth. Relax the legs. And then if you had the bolster underneath you, you can take that to one side and shuffle forward of your mat so that you can roll down all the way onto your back. When you get down onto the floor, gently draw both knees in towards the chest and just give yourself just a little squeeze there, exhaling, releasing the tailbone to the floor, spreading out the pelvis, the waists, lower, middle, and upper back and shoulders. If the head needs a blanket or a block under there, please do, so that you're not arching the neck and taking strain into the face. We're going to keep the right knee in towards the chest, extending the left leg either bent with the sole of the foot on the mat, or you can extend that left leg all the way along the mat. It's your choice. But this is knee to chest, so 3-minute hold with the right knee in towards the chest. And think about where you might be tensing up here. You might be tensing up into the fingers. So make sure that interlace as you hold onto the shin is not too tight. Might be tensing up into the glutes. Relaxing fully into the belly, into the lower back. And feeling that full connection of your back body on the earth beneath you. Just a few more breaths here. And for the last 30 seconds, we're going to extend the leg. So just our rebound. So release the fingers from the shin and then just start to extend from the back of that right knee and extending that leg up just for a 30-second hold. Not a full minute or two, but just to relax into the back of the knee and the knee joint. Let the thigh become heavy down towards the chest. And then nice and slowly bend at the knee, let the heel go to the buttock, and then send that right leg all the way along the mat and just extend the left leg as well. So just take a moment there to find this connection with Shavasana and the entire back body down onto the floor. Bring both knees back in once more. Give yourself that nice little hug and squeeze in. So lengthening tailbone, lengthening neck, relaxing facial expression, using a block or a thin blanket underneath the back of the head if you need. Keeping the left leg in towards the chest this time. So swapping the hands over to the left shin, and then right foot places down onto the floor, either bent or straight. So you can extend that leg fully. Heel is in line with your hip, and just drop into the pelvis. So soften out on the second side. So dropping down into that full gravitational release to the earth with the back body, noticing any areas that you're contracting, holding tension, gripping, clenching, all those feelings that you just hold on, let go. We're working towards an edge here of drawing the thigh closer towards the body. We've got a deep flexion into that knee joint as well. So that, that is also an edge in itself. We all feel things in different places when we hold a posture for a number of minutes. We're coming to the last 30 seconds here. So just exhaling a little bit deeper. And as we release our hands from the shins, we take our hands to the ankle, the calf, or the thigh, keeping the thigh as close as we can in towards the chest and just extending from the back of the knee. Back of the leg is relaxed. There's no engagement there in that reclined leg stretch. Maybe you're noticing different sensations on the second side. So just making sure that you equal out that leg stretch on both sides. And then bend at the knee, drop the heel in towards the buttock, and then extend that leg all the way along the mat. Just let it slide down the mat. Take the hands out, take a moment in Shavasana just to rest, to relax, to feel. And just wiggle the hips, just shimmy the hips left and right. And that in turn gives the glutes a little massage. And then that in turn gives the thighs a release, the calves a massage, and you're just shaking into the feet and the ankles from left to right. Draw both knees in. Now roll and massage out through the spine, circling the knees around one way and the other. Open out the hips. If it feels good, let the knees go wide. Again, circle, nice, slow, gentle lubrication of that hip socket, the ball and socket. We're going to roll back over to our side. Take our time to come back up to seated into a butterfly pose. Soles of the feet come together. And again, you can, of course, use blocks or a bolster to support the head. And just bring the heels in a little bit closer so that you can gently spread the sit bones, spread the butt cheeks apart, and take the knees a little bit out further. And then you can take those feet a little bit further forward and exhale as you fold. So really softening into the head, the neck, the spine, but gently pulling the navel back. So just notice if you let the navel relax, how that affects the lower back. If you pull the navel in just slightly, what does that do for your forward fold? And the hands might be here connecting into the soles of the feet. They might be on the ankles. They might be on the shins. Elbows might be on the knees. So wherever you feel your hands are connected in towards your body. Each exhale, let's go a little bit more. Here for just a few more breaths. Reminding yourself of that earth to crown. Inhale, crown to root. Exhale. as we begin to think about moving and how we do that for ourselves. Take a nice deep breath in and then slowly push yourself away from your feet and legs as you uncurl the spine. Just as we did in our caterpillar pose, we unroll vertebra by vertebra, bringing our shoulders back up in line with our hips. Nice, tall, straight spine. Feel the groundedness as you sit tall, connecting you to the earth. And then take hold of the knees, lift the knees together, and just take them wide. And just drop the knees over to the right and over to the left. Repeat that twice more. Dropping a knee over and the other way. Exhale, drop, inhale, center. Exhale, drop, inhale, center. Moving sideways onto our mat. This is our frog pose. So if you're on a harder surface, not carpet, you might want to just double up the mat by folding up the edges. I would recommend using a bolster for you underneath the torso. I'm going to use the bolster today. So knees go nice and wide. We're going to bring our body onto our bolster and take our feet out to the sides of us as well. So getting a 90-degree bend at the hips, knees, and the ankles, and really giving in the body weight down onto your bolster. If you're not quite meeting your bolster, you can put 2 blocks underneath the bolster and lift that up even higher. So if you feel that you're not quite meeting the bolster and it's still a bit too low for you, that's it. Yeah, put those blocks underneath there. So just notice in this posture where your biting point is, where your point of resistance. As you gently push the hips backwards towards the heels, notice, is there a biting point? Is that your edge? Can you stay there and hold it? Maybe you need to come in a little bit more, so you bring the hips forward a bit. Give in, relax. Notice where the intensity comes for you. Breathe through that. If it's painful, you know you may have gone a little bit too far into the pose too soon. Each exhale, give in to the posture a little bit more. Knees slide away further a little bit more. And be aware here of the pelvic floor. Is it relaxed? Is it tense? Are the butt cheeks tensing? Are the gluteal muscles clenching, contracting? Just try and relax the whole of the pelvic area. We're here for just another minute. That's about 6 to 10 breaths. Each exhale, let's go a little bit more. Think about coming out, lifting the head, bringing the hands back on either side of the bolster. Rock yourself forward, bring the big toes to touch behind you, and then gently push yourself back, bringing the knees together, and just come back into kneeling, taking a pause, long spine. Wonderful. Just feel that after effect coming out of frog pose for 5 minutes. And then we can spin our legs around, come down onto our backs, draw the knees in, and don't rush to go straight into your opening of the knees and the hips, but just give the knees a squeeze into the thighs, thighs into chest. Relax the lower body, relax the hips and the pelvis. And then take the hands either side of the knees, the outer knees, and just press the knees together. So hands on the outer side of the knees, press, press, press. A little bit of force needed. And then gently now take the knees apart. Go into those nice, slow and steady hip circles. And just notice the additional mobility and flexibility that you've gained just from holding that frog pose for 5 minutes. Circle slowly one way and then circle slowly the other way. Take the soles of the feet wide of your mat. Keep the knees wide open there. And then arms out to the side, shoulder blades spread apart. Drop the knees over one way. And let them just stay there. Just releasing into that top leg. Relax into the hips, soften into the glutes. Relax into the hip flexors and the thighs. Breathe in. Bring yourself back into center. Realign if you need to. Move the feet. And then exhale. Let those knees drop to the other side. Again, relax into the glutes, the hip flexors, the thighs. Reminding yourself of those slow and steady, deep inhales from earth to crown, and the exhales, crown to earth. Breathe in, bring the knees back into center. Realign the spine, realign the hips and the pelvis. Now bring the hands to the belly. Take the toes inwards, heels turn out, knees drop in towards one another, constructive rest. Relax the inner groin, outer hip, calves, ankles. Relax all of the lower legs and the feet. All of the areas that we've focused and targeted today to focus on our earth element, but also releasing energy, blocked, stagnant energy, chi that is in the lower body. So all the way down to the little toes, clearing, balancing, and re-energizing. Heel toe, feet back into parallel. And when the toes and the heels connect, gently open the knees out, find your reclined butterfly pose. And let's hold here for 2 minutes. You can keep the hands onto the belly. You can move them to the hips if you like, or take them to the outside of the mat, palms face up. I'm going to keep my hands on my hip flexors, making sure that I'm not contracting the hip flexors in any way. So relaxing the hips, relaxing the glutes, letting the back naturally arch. So this is our last posture before we come into our final relaxation of Shavasana. So take these moments to feel that connectedness to the ground beneath you. The connection to your breath and the connection to your physical body and your mind's thoughts. All in one space, not drifting, distracting anywhere else. Breathing into the entire musculature system, the connective tissue, the fascia, the tendons, the ligaments, the cartilage, the muscles. Breathing into the skeletal system of the bones, the joints. And remember that everything is connected within our own body, just as much as we are connected to the earth and the trees' roots connecting to all life forces. Release the hands to the outer thighs. Breathe in, lift the legs together, let the hands do the work. And take that constructive rest pose once more, relaxing there for 30 seconds. Finding your way into Shavasana with as little movement as possible. Maybe you wish to put props underneath the knees, but if you are able to just move into Shavasana by heel toeing the feet together and releasing the feet down towards the end of the mat, arms go out to the side of you, and just spread the body out on the mat as if you were lying down on that rainforest floor amongst all of those beautiful trees. Feeling the energy coming up from the earth, from the interconnectedness of life. Allowing these last remaining moments of practice for your presence, keeping your focus in the moment. I will let you know when it is time to come back around. For now, enjoy your reward and relaxation. beginning to take a few deeper breaths as you bring your awareness back into your room, back into your surroundings, back onto the mat, starting to feel the back body being held by the ground beneath you. Feel the body is heavy but ready to awaken. Wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. Soft and gentle movement brings more alertness as you start to circle the wrists and the ankles. Getting more movement with the breath, lifting up the arms, stretching as if you're awakening for the start of your day. Exhaling, drawing the knees in towards the chest. And just lengthening the tailbone towards the earth. And the neck is long. Roll over to one side and just pause there. One hand connecting to the earth. And almost listen. And then with that hand connecting to the earth, give yourself a little press up. Come back up to a comfortable seat. Sitting tall. Whether that's butterfly or cross-legged or kneeling, sit tall. Bring the hands into the heart center. Anjali Mudra. And remind yourself of the question in the meditation that you asked of the tree, that wise, ancient, and sacred tree. And what the answer was to your question. In my soul, I have roots like a tree. In my soul, I have peace like a mountain. In my soul, I have love like an ocean. In my soul, I have joy like a river. Thanking your body, your breath for your practice today. And I thank you all. Namaste.